You're watching the PlantX Vodcast. Join us as we explore the inner workings of all things plant-based and all things PlantX, from the products and lifestyles to the people behind them. Now welcome our host, the man who combined his love of e-commerce and the plant-based lifestyle to create PlantX, Sean Dollinger.
Hi everyone, welcome to the PlantX Vodcast Season 4. My name's Sean Dollinger, co-founder of PlantX, and thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us here live. And if you don't have the time to join us live, then obviously thank you for watching our show after hours. For any new viewers, new customers that we have joining us today, what is PlantX? What is it all about? PlantX is your one-stop shop for everything plant-based. So if you're looking for groceries, meal delivery, plant-based cosmetics, plant-based products for your pets, pretty much anything. Or if you want to learn about what the plant-based industry is all about, you can find out all about it at plantx.com. Just last month, we bought the oldest and longest lasting vegan domain name, veganessentials.com. It's off to a phenomenal start. Again, we just bought it, I believe it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. We brought it onto the Shopify platform, which you could see how quick it is. If you go to veganessentials.com, plantx.com, it reacts immediately. And that's so important in 2022 to make sure people get exactly what they want as they're shopping through the experience. We see conversion rates keep going up, and the customer base is just so loyal over there. So thank you very much to all of the customers from Vegan Essentials joining the PlantX family. On today's show, really interesting topic, vegan wine. Francis, who's going to be joining us today, one of our first partners over in the food hall that we're launching in Chicago. And people might say, well, I thought PlantX was an e-commerce company, not a brick and mortar store. But what we realized along the journey in a space so new as the plant-based industry, it's important to create a community, create an environment for people to come and explore and see what the plant-based space is all about. And what's better than introducing people to something that they're so familiar with, alcohol. And that's where this partnership means a lot to PlantX. And I can't wait for you to meet our guest today. She's amazing at what she does, and can't wait for her to share a little bit about what makes wine vegan. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you, Sean and everybody?
Doing great, and hope you're doing well. I know you're getting ready for Thanksgiving, which is just around the corner. My favorite time of year. I just love the holidays and everything. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's all so exciting. So it's awesome. Before we jump in about what makes wine vegan and a little bit about yourself, we always start our podcasts by asking our guests, how do you take your coffee?
Black, no sugar.
Love it. Simple. Same way I take it. Everybody's like, what do you mean you're having, a tall pike or anything along those lines? And I'm just like, I don't know. The taste of black coffee is just amazing.
I love it. Yes, definitely. The smell and the taste.
Awesome. So everybody I speak to, find they get it. Like chicken is not vegan, although some people, even my kids, I have a 7-year-old who tries to tell me, well, if a chicken eats vegetarian, can it not be a vegetarian chicken? So I tell her, it's living and you're eating it. So no, but wine, alcohol, people look at me like I'm crazy when I start saying that there's vegan wine. So maybe you could give the guests, the viewers, a little bit of background on what makes wine vegan.
Yes, definitely. Well, first of all, a wine can have up to 72 ingredients legally. and some of them are animal products to filter the wine. So a lot of times, or for the tannins. But let's just say, just to make it easier, it's like when you see the settlements and sometimes in your wine in the bottom of the glass, they don't really change the taste, but people like to see a clear glass of wine. So they use egg whites, or they might use fish oil or casein. Other things, in some countries, you can use blood because of the harvest, animal blood for if the harvest was a bad harvest, to make you think that it was a good harvest, with the coloring. Egg whites, and also very important that it's still overlooked, is the soil. The soil is, you can use fish fertilizers and animal manure among, like, seashells, feathers. A lot of those things can be put into for nitrogen. Uh, this just people's beliefs on it, and or the farmers, but it's also coming, the animal manure comes from the slaughterhouses, and that has all hormones and antibiotics in it. So aside from not hurting animals, of course, it's also bad for our health in other ways. So my whole thing is less is more with the wines. Um,
Wow, I had no idea about any of that. And, I think we've had a guest maybe in season 1 or season 2 who spoke a little bit about vegan wines. They were on the distribution side, and we spoke a little bit about when the grapes were crushed, are there insects in them? And I heard of that side of it, but the side that you just brought in, wow, I had absolutely no idea. And maybe that, leads to my next question, why you did it, but, why did you start veganwines.com? And maybe share a little bit about your past.
well, I've been a vegan for over 25 years. And my boyfriend took me to to Bordeaux for my birthday. And during a wine tasting tour, I heard the word egg whites, and I'm like, what? And that my birthday turned into a research. I don't drink any spirits or anything like that aside from wine. So I was like, okay, if there's animal products that are used, then I have to stop. So I researched, and then the research, um, it was interesting because the more I learned, the more I got fascinated in it, because you get to learn so much about what goes into our food along with it as well. But when I said to myself, when I get to the US, we got this, we know this. And when I came back home, I Googled vegan wines. I couldn't find anything at all. And then I would go to restaurants and get asked sommeliers and ask wine schools. The wine schools didn't have anything for vegan wines. So I decided, I'm not the only one that's thinking like this, right? So I went out there and started doing more research, and I Googled veganwines.com, and it was available. And I was like, that's my cue.
That's awesome. Yeah, being an e-com guy for 20 plus years, if I was starting a vegan wine company, I couldn't think of anything better than veganwines.com. And from the time I met you in New York, you're a hustler. It was amazing. I happened to be up super early one morning. I write you, I say, hey, any chance you can make it work? And you changed around your plans and came over. And that's really the partnerships out there that are so important to PlantX and the way we get to the next level. And like even the responsiveness that you have on emails, it's exceptional, and it's just been so great working with you. And this whole vegan side of the alcohol space is just so powerful. And I know that food hall in Chicago, when people come in and try the flights that you're going to put together, the enjoyment and the happiness it's going to bring them is going to be so key to them keeping on their journey, keeping on and exploring. We even had a comment go, yuck, I didn't realize that's what goes into wine. Where can I find vegan wine? You just ruined it for me, So things like that, I think that there's more to it than people just thinking, oh, vegans this way. Like it should be almost, a path forward on how you could improve your life the health around it and everything about it. So there's just so much more to it. And having someone on the show like you today explain that, I think it's so great. Can you speak a little bit about the comparison in prices from vegan wine to regular wine? I would assume automatically it's more expensive, but then obviously with different ages out there, and there's so many different factors.
There's so many, Sean, and thank you for that question, because when I first started the business, it'd be like a lot of people were like, it's more. Sometimes it is on the expensive side, more because they're small wineries. Patience is the first key to the ingredient, and a lot of the like if it's a bad harvest, like if a harvest means like if the grapes are not up to that quality, they're not. It's just they're not producing the wine. That's it. Everything is they're not big companies, so they don't get everything like in fast-paced, lower pricing. So it does cost more because everything costs more to them. And it's just like you would see it, like, let's say another store, a vegan wine for $2.99, vegan friendly. Not that it, so imagine how many other ingredients are in there as well. So our thing is grapes. That's all we want in our wine. Wine is beautiful. Wine is a food. You want to experience that. And as a vegan, I want to enjoy life just like everyone else, just cruelty free. I love wines, and I believe there's a lot of people that love wines there as well. And you want to drink wine. You don't want to drink all the other ingredients that can go in there, animals and non-animal products that just are not good for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't know if it's a psychological thing, but when I have vegan wine and when I've tried it, it just tastes and you feel better in every part about it. So, yeah, no, it's awesome. And I can't wait to try a bottle that you recommend, obviously, at our Chicago Food Hall. I think it's going to be awesome. And, the partnership we have with very good butchers, the very good company doing the boards that we'll work on with you, as well as Good Planet on the alternative dairy side. I just think you'll be able to put together these incredible packages. And obviously with you handling the shipping of your wine currently, we're glad to assist with being able to ship out the alternative dairy products, the alternative meat products, so that people could enjoy whatever they're buying from you, that it complements almost as a basket at the end of the day for the holidays.
Oh gosh, yes. People love that. The whole bundles, I mean that, like I'm throwing a Thanksgiving get together tomorrow. 70% are not vegan, but they're going to eat everything vegan. And that includes vegan cheese and vegan meats paired with wines and food and all that. It's all about the experience, And our wines do taste really beautiful, honestly, because you're tasting the grapes. And I always find it fun too to pair it up with the cheese. And it's and vegan meats is, or anything. It's one of my favorite things. So we actually, for every bottle in our inventory, we have a plant-based recipe to pair with it, because we want you to experience the whole thing. It's not just about selling wines, it's about selling the, everything behind it. I want you to look behind that label. I want you to see, the winemaker and all the hard work that they're doing to get these beautiful wines to you. I mean, it's their passion, and it's every bottle has an amazing wine story, because I visit every vineyard. There's no wine on portfolio that I will not visit to make sure that it is within our guidelines, from the soil to the glass. It's very important.
And when we met, you explained that in detail, that you went to each, vineyard that you actually purchased from, and the collection that you've put together is all handpicked by yourself. And for you to come over to the Chicago Food Hall, or, the X Market Uptown, where that'll be located, and you go ahead and do the tastings and seeing the pictures and the happiness you're bringing everyone. and the dedication that you have. You don't need to physically go, but you make sure to physically go. And even this weekend, there was a bit of a crazy incident, right? Where we thought the date was this weekend, and I felt terrible reading these things, and you were already back on a flight to New York. It just shows and speaks volumes about your dedication, not only to your brand, but when you partner with a brand, how serious you take it. And that's really what's going to help us together get to that next level. And, even how it just started, this relationship just a few months ago, and look how far it's come. And then right away you speak about your area, how it'd be the perfect place for a plant-based store. And then, moving into promoting your subscriptions on your vegan wines, it's great. And right away when I hear that, and when there's something on both sides to join and jump off of, it's amazing. Maybe you could speak a little bit about the subscription side of things, because that's something that we've really tried working hard at PlantX, and it's not the easiest thing. We always speak about great things and fun things on this show, but executing on a subscription plan is not always the easiest.
No, it definitely, especially when we came about, we had to also become like the wine industry. They didn't know about vegan wines in general. So it was much like, oh, it's a diet kind of thing, so we had to make it fun for everyone. So with the subscription, we said, okay, so we have an in-house sommelier. And she is the one that gives you the wine notes, does the whole, I give her the story and she puts everything together. We also have a in-house chef who's a nutritionist. She is a vegan as well, and she does a recipe for every wine. And we also pair it with cheese, vegan cheese. Miyoko's was the first pairing that we ever did. And these little perks like that, and we're always available for any questions. And believe me, we get them because this is new to a lot of us, So just to stand out there out of the box, we always try to, add a few things. But those are the things we do: the recipes, the pairing with vegan cheeses, and also the recipe for every bottle, and notes from a pro, someone in the wine industry. She's this is her life as well. So this is all in a package there.
Awesome. And, again, you coming on, and yes, you're focusing on vegan wines. And then I see all these different creatives you're working on with Jacqueline and Alex in the background to really make sure that the experience is awesome. But then, like I mentioned earlier, really going above and beyond and working with the alternative dairy counter or the meat counter to just make that whole experience, when somebody walks into this food hall and experiences this 7,000 square foot, 300 person, plus a 35 person bar. It's really one of a kind. And it's just going to be, I think it's going to blow people away. And I can't wait till it launches in April.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy about that, because like I said, I love wine myself. So imagine to go to a wine bar and you don't have to ask the bartender, whoever's behind there, which wines you have are vegan. And it's tough because a lot of times people don't know, and it's not on the label. It's not like you can read the ingredients on a wine bottle. So to go into a bar and know that you're safe, that's your little safe haven to have fun and know that all the wines are vegan and the cheese and everything. I mean, that's amazing. I'm excited for it, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. And we have a whole bunch of other brands, obviously, at the bar that follow the same values. And I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. And, normally we do a lot more, Q&A together, but today's chat is blowing up. And, it really speaks volumes on our platform and the different verticals that people could come to. And that's the idea behind our e-com site, our stores, for people to come and explore and see all the different brands there are out there. We don't want to be the ones to just choose. We want to choose incredible partners like yourself. And then for people to come and have variety. Like if some people like red wine, some people like white wine. If I like red, why should I not offer white, right? That's not what we do. And same thing on these platforms. We offer it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Christian does a great job perfecting it all, just because everything that we stand by is choice. So people are taking time live here to join us, and I want to make sure we answer all their questions today. And we're going to go ahead and send out a $100 gift card to somebody who's been super active today. Darcy, thank you very much for joining us. And, I love throwing on, clothes from our company. This is Little West Juices, and we're doing some really fun things for the holidays. Check out their site for Black Friday to Cyber Monday, littlewest.com. And their shirts feel amazing. Like Cassandra and Andrew, they always do an incredible job over there. And, use a gift card maybe to add one of these at checkout. And please give creative feedback, positive feedback, anything you guys feel like sharing. That's what makes this fun. Once a week, we come and join. And I think we only have maybe 4 episodes left before we start season 5 next year, whenever we get that going. I'll get the specific dates after the show, and I'll make sure to let everybody know next week. So on that, if you're good, let's see what everybody has to say here today. We've got Darcy. I had no idea about wine not being vegan. This is fascinating, really. Is there any way to know if a wine you typically purchase is vegan? Is there a special label or indicator?
Well, there's no certification yet for vegan wines in general, from the soil to, from every step. You have labels that say vegan friendly, and that is where they look at in the filtering part of it in the cellar. So honestly, there's no way unless you do your research. That's basically it. And because that's the only way you can know. And a lot of people still, even if they are vegan friendly, they don't put it on because you need a certification, and that costs a lot of money. And then some of the wineries just don't have.
We should explore a veganwines.com stamp, and that would be a great way to make people feel comfortable on knowing, especially an expert like yourself who goes and views and understands everything so in depth. I think it'd be something really, really interesting to explore. Darcy, again, just placed my first order and have some vegan dog food. Super excited to try it. Any tips for other dog treats food? Is there limited options on your site, or more options coming? 100%. The platform literally grows every single day. The team from Kumar to Valeria, they're just updating images on the website, content. There's so much that actually goes in. Sandeep making sure that the CRO is done right, the SEO. When something gets added, there's tons of research. Alex is also making sure to see products that are trending and that she's seeing in other places as well, to make sure that they all get proper placement on the website. So absolutely keep coming back. And our team watches this show as well. So they'll highlight it, that we should really start getting a lot more in that pet section. Sean Adams, any updates on financials? Again, we could send that email to Lorne, Lorne at PlantX.com as the CEO, or Sharik at PlantX.com as the CFO of the company. As far as I understand, it's very close. The team, again, is working around the clock, getting the auditors everything they need, cooperating and sending over, again, any requests they might have. So stay tuned. Obviously, the team makes sure to put out PRs whenever there's updates. Someone asked what happened to Plainfield. So Plainfield, just so our viewers understand, it's located about an hour outside of Chicago, with all of our focus going into this food hall and the store out in Plainfield being more of a grocery store. And, the plant-based space, there's only so many spots on the shelves to actually place the products over there. We decided to move and focus fully on the store in Chicago, which is located just 10 minutes outside of downtown Chicago. So it really has the audience, and our team needs to remain razor focused to launch the food hall. This is our e-com distribution hub as well. And let's be honest, probably the most important thing out there, to become profitable in 2023. And Lauren, the CEO, Sharik, the CFO, believe that is actually possible to happen here in 2023. So there's decisions that sometimes need to be taken to create a stronger foundation for our investors and shareholders. Are your stores 100% vegan? From BTC? Thank you for sending in that question. They are 100% vegan. So if you happen to see anything when you're shopping, obviously there's always new products coming out there. And even though suppliers, distributors, even manufacturers might tell us things are vegan, it's always good to hear firsthand from our guests. But definitely goes through a 3-tiered process, from our purchasers to our merchandisers to our store managers. So we do put up 3 layers, sometimes even 4, depending on where it is located in the world, on the product before it hits the shelf. So please, if there's anything that ever comes to your attention, let us know. But yes, our stores are 100% vegan. Darcy, okay, that is just yucky. I love wine. Now I really want to know about the vegan options. Do you ship vegan wines, Canada, worldwide? That's a question for you.
Not yet. One day, but not yet. We're still working on the US side.
All right, great. And then Ryan Fletcher wrote in with a question again on the financials. Ryan, if by some chance the team is not getting back to you for any reason, feel free to email me, Sean, SEAN @plantx.com, and I could assure you that you will get a reply. And if by some chance it happens to go into my spam, my phone number 604-355-6100. Feel free to text me, and we could set up a time to chat. My pleasure. PlantX is a credible, absolutely amazing company. If you haven't went out to our Squamish store or Venice store in LA, Chicago, Ottawa, I encourage you to do so you could really experience what PlantX is all about. Sandra Namoto, vegan wine should be the default. I'm sure you'd agree with that, Francis.
Gosh, 100%. That's one of my goals, to make it so accessible that, to make it everyone aware, so that it becomes mandatory for all winemakers. That would be awesome.
Yeah, agreed. And then I want to visit a vegan vineyard. France, which one is your favorite? I need recommendations.
Oh gosh, there's so many. So next time I go to visit the vineyards, I want to do a little group that you can join in. I will talk about one quickly on one vineyard. It's a small town, right, outside of Tuscany, Umbria, and he rescues sheep, just like, a little animal sanctuary. And that's his wife takes care of the sanctuary, and he makes the wine. We also just got an email from a new sanctuary also in Italy, that they also have a vineyard, very small. They're only making about 2,000 bottles a year. But just the fact that there's a vineyard and a sanctuary together, and they understand the importance of the wine being vegan, and and they're selling wines to support the sanctuary. So there's a lot of beauty to it. So definitely join me next time, because the more the merrier, for sure.
Awesome. And That all sounds great, and definitely a huge interest. Because we're running so tight on time, I'm going to loop together 3 questions, and hopefully you could do your best at replying. I just want to make sure when people are actually taking the time here to write in, we should try to get to them. So Eric wrote in, can you explain biodynamic wines? I had a question when we're speaking about Europe and everything, and this is just my mindset, because a wine comes from Europe or from a region like that, do they have stricter guidelines on the whole vegan and clean approach? Because some of the things you spoke about shocked me, and I'd be surprised if they allow that type of stuff over in Europe. So if you could speak a little bit about, if it matters where you get it. And then Darcy had one last question. If you have somewhere you could recommend, especially if you don't ship to Canada, where they could find out some more information about vegan wines and what you recommend, which I probably think your website, but that's up to you. And feel free to plug your website, share it, easy name to remember, obviously, and your email, feel free.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sean. So biodynamic, a lot of people still think that it's vegan because it's natural wines. Natural wines are not vegan wines because it doesn't mean that there's no animal products in it. So biodynamic wines is actually animal manure put into a horn and then planted. So of course that doesn't make it vegan at all. So biodynamic wines are not vegan. There is some winemakers that are doing everything with the energy and the earth and the moon and all that, but without the animal, the cow horn or the animal manure in it. And one of the things that we, since I am the only importer into the US with these wines, in the back of our label, you will see our sign, our logo of vegan wines. And that's a way that you can know that we did the research for you, because that's the main thing. We do the research so that you know that what you're drinking is a vegan wine. And the winemaker does not have to pay this crazy certification, and that they can afford. So it's all about transparency. Our biggest thing is transparency. And right now, you can find us at My Vegan Wines, veganwines.com. And Sean gave out his number. I mean, I'm not going to give out my number, but, the person that takes care of the emails is myself. So when you even email Francis at veganwines.com or info@veganwines.com, even if it's not a wine that is bought in by us, ask me, because that's what I'm here for. I want you to learn more about what makes a wine vegan so you know what you're drinking.
Francis, I know how busy you are. You literally do everything, like you just said, from answering emails to traveling to making sure people love the experience. So thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us, to share with our viewers, investors, and customers. It really means a lot. And can't wait to see where our partnership goes.
Likewise. Thank you, Sean, for having me. I'm very excited about everything. And I'm noticing that it's turning dark here. Now, in a few minutes, you won't be able to see me at all.
Yeah, this time of year is always a tricky one, but we're approaching the shortest day of the year, and then it only gets longer, right? So happy holidays. Have an awesome one. And can't wait to see you soon.
Yes. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Partnerships like this to PlantX mean a ton, right? Because it brings in a whole new clientele, customers who are now wanting to explore vegan wines or a different type of alcohol and see what it's all about. It really piques people's interest. And when they come in and try something new and this new audience comes in the door, they go, wow, this is actually awesome. Let me try something else. Let's see what else they have. And then they go to the Very counter or to the alternative dairy counter, and they're like, these things are incredible. And then all of a sudden we have a customer for life. And that's why it's so important to create an experience that people truly enjoy, that create the curiosity, and for them to keep coming back for more. On partnerships, and Alex, our CMO, would kill me if I went ahead and announced one that was chalked up last night, signed on the dotted line, And it's our new pop-up in Venice Beach, and I'll wait for it to go live before we actually make the announcement, but it's one of our biggest partnerships yet. It's with a brand that is a fan favorite here at PlantX, and we actually have 3 more pop-ups planned after that. And again, Brendan, who's the store manager, absolutely doing a killer job over in Venice Beach. We see numbers. This past weekend was one of our best weekends ever. And, that's thanks to the team and introducing himself to everybody walking in the door and making it feel like home. And that's what Corey and Steve did such a good job with Grace over at the Locavore in Squamish. When you go there, you feel like you're part of the family. You feel like you're part of the community. And that's really what PlantX is all about. Until next time, stay curious, stay planted, stay healthy.
Thanks for watching the PlantX Vodcast. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more information, go to investor.plantx.com. See you next time.
PlantX believes in a plant-based future for our health and the health of our planet. We've created a unique online shop for everything plant-based. Our intent on positioning globally is the core of our vision for investor accessibility and corporate growth. Learn more at investor.plantx.com.